Houston that's got all the rain than southeast Texas. Take a look again at where we have Harvey. It's still out over open waters, still a tropical storm, and it's throwing a lot of moisture back into southeast Texas. There is a little bit of good news today, and that's that there is some drier air trying to entrain itself into the system, and that means that the rain is not quite as heavy as it has been the past couple of days, at least in the Houston area. But if you work east toward Galveston, the Boulevard Peninsula, Beaumont, Port Arthur, definitely looking at the heavier rain for today. And you can see that dry air on what we call our water vapor. And the thing to know about this graphic is that when you see the brown color, that's drier air in the atmosphere. And look how it's being sucked in from the west into the storm. And so for the west side of Houston back to the west, we're looking at lighter rain. But where we still have that Gulf of Mexico moisture surging north, we're getting a lot of that heavier rain to the east of Houston for today. Flash flood warnings in effect, and even a flash flood emergency for the Beaumont, Port Arthur area. So right now, the center of Harvey is still located in the Gulf, about 115 miles south-southwest of Cameron, Louisiana, here in southwest Louisiana. And that's exactly where we think landfall will be tomorrow morning as a tropical storm. It will continue to work north pretty rapidly at this point. We're expecting it to zip on into the mid-Tennessee Valley by the weekend, and with it will carry the rain. And thankfully in Houston, even though the rain is light today, it's still raining, and it's just something they don't want to deal with anymore. Obviously, by the time we get to 10 o'clock tonight, you can still see the heaviest rain to the east of Houston. And I think the rain will slowly taper off during the day tomorrow. And by Thursday, the rain will be gone altogether from southeast Texas. And as that storm moves to the north, we'll have some rain on the backside of it, especially across eastern parts of North Texas. But our rain chances are very small compared to what's going on down to the south. You can see an additional 3 inches of rain possible in Houston, maybe in Galveston more than 9 inches of rain, 12 inches of rain in Port Arthur, and we're looking at heavy rain across parts of Louisiana and Arkansas as well. We mentioned earlier that Harvey has now set the all-time tropical cyclone record for the most rain dumped in the United States, 49.32 in Houston. That broke the old record of 48 inches set back by Amelia in 1978. And we've seen our own floods here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and meteorologist Wes Houck is here to kind of break down how do they compare to what we've been looking at with Harvey.
Well, they pale in comparison, but at the time, Jeff, these storms were heroic, or not heroic, but historic nonetheless here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We'll start with the storm in Dallas in 1908, May 28th. We had 15 inches of rain that fell in a very short period of time. You can see the flooding there. In Fort Worth, there might be a few viewers that remember this. 1949, May 17th, we had 11 inches and respectively killed 10 people in Fort Worth, that storm, and 5 in Dallas. Now, you might keep in mind as well that this was all before the levee system over the Trinity River, and so we did talk about that. That was built in 1931 in Dallas, and then after the 1949 storm in Fort Worth, they built in 1952. And these levees, while are in some ways it could be changed, they are still effective and have held us up quite well here in the Dallas area. Jeff?
Yeah, even since 1908 and 1949, obviously we've had a lot of floods in between, but the levees have held, and we've had nothing like what they're dealing with in southeast Texas. Those floods happened, like Wes mentioned, with 11 inches and 15 inches of rain, not the 50 inches of rain that they're getting in southeast Texas. Blue skies here in Dallas. We're at 80 right now. Temperatures below normal again with that northeast wind, 10 to 20 miles per hour. Just a 20% chance of rain today and a high of 88. As Harvey moves into northern Louisiana and Arkansas, we may get brushed by a few more showers, mainly east of Dallas tomorrow and Thursday, but still not expecting a big deal here. I don't expect any flooding rains in North Texas, and we'll dry out altogether as we head into Labor Day weekend with highs in the lower 90s.